UN says that, we need to keep the earth under 2 degrees Celsius within the end of the century. So I want you to briefly elaborate on the point about a few technicalities so the people to understand that what is the a brief science behind it and what is actually happening for them to know the graveness of the issue.
So here's what it is. I mean, I know it'll at some point become a little too jargonish, but I'm going to be cautiously not doing so. But let's still
Absolutely.
go there. So 2 degrees centigrade, you just mentioned that. Now, why is that becoming a number of significance, or rather, it's 1.5 to begin with?
Absolutely.
But I'll get to that. I'll get to that. So century back, go a century back, or maybe even further back, and you will realize that Earth has always fairly had a stable temperature zone around it. It hasn't
Hmm.
really had a shift in temperatures. This morning, I was on LinkedIn and watching a graphic which told me how in different cities in the world that
Hmm.
temperature shifts have happened over the last century. And all of the shifts that we are talking about, when I say shift, I'm talking of an upward shift, right?
Right.
From where a typical average temperature of a city sits to what has happened over the years. And
Hmm.
90 years thereabouts hasn't seen a change at all. But the last 10 years, it's suddenly shot to the point where we've in cities, in a bunch of cities, we've breached the 2 degree mark. I'm sure
Hmm.
where you are up north, possibly even Delhi and other cities, you sense that summers are much hotter. You definitely sense, as we speak right now, winters are much
Absolutely.
chilly. Right? And
Absolutely.
and that's exactly what I'm saying. It may not really require you to kind of look too far forward in the future. It's happening right now. When I said that quote, we're saying we're borrowing it from our future generations. I'm actually going to take my words back on that and saying while future generations will face the brunt, we today are seeing it. And so
Hmm.
that's the idea of that 2 degrees. If you were to leave it to that point, it's about saying, I just think of an ice cream, right? You know that ice cream, if you were to kind of keep it at a certain temperature, it's good, nice. You can scoop it up and eat well.
Absolutely.
Just that 2 degrees of warming on an ice cream, and that matters so much that it could just melt it down and just
Hmm.
now replace that ice cream image, the scoop of ice cream image, with the planet Earth. And that's exactly what we are talking about. So while 2 degree may sound like ho jayega, we'll probably
True.
if it's summers, we'll probably wear more cotton. If it's winters, we'll wear more wool, and we'll sort it out. It isn't as simple as that, quite honestly, not, because at some point the biodiversity of the planet, the
Hmm.
ecosystems of the planet are taking a hit, because of which flooding happens, because of which something like landslides happen. In other geographies, forest fires happen. All of these are happening. In fact, pandemic as an example, right? Why is the pandemic coming into the picture? Yes, you could always say it came from the bats, but why did it happen? Because at some point, human animal conflict, which is to say that we as humans have invaded the territory of the animal kingdom out there, and then
Right.
they come into our ecosystem, our spaces. Of course, we actually are the ones who are the invaders, and then it's their
Right.
natural
Right.
ecosystem. So they come in, we then start probably coexisting, and then we try to kind of feed off each other in a certain way, and then all of these zoonotic diseases, I think that's what they called, zootonic, zoonotic, one of those terms. But point is, it is those diseases that kind of move from the animal kingdom over to us humans, and that's the crux of it all. uh, you don't have to look too far. Locust attacks, you've probably heard of locust attacks about a year or so, year and a half back.
Yes.
Up north, Rajasthan experienced it, Pakistan experienced it, that's where the farmlands kind of couldn't really sustain it. And
Hmm.
again, why are the locusts coming in, migrating in swarms, and causing that whole damage? It's because of their own ecosystems being affected by what we're talking about. So
Hmm.
that 2 degree centigrade number, as small as it sounds, is significant in terms of the impact it leaves behind.
Absolutely significant.
And now the 1.5, right? The 1.5 is the tipping point. Again, if I were to talk about tipping point in a negative sense, that's the
Yes.
tipping point that the world has been saying, the scientists have been saying, the climate science has been saying shouldn't be breached. And very
Hmm.
unfortunately, so we are already, if you were to average it out across the planet, we are already at thereabouts of 1.2, 1.3. So we're not
We
too
are.
far. We're not too far. And unfortunately, the realization hasn't really reached that scale that it has to reach, that reach the right had the right impact, rather, that it has to have. So yeah, the numbers 2 and 1.5, if you were to kind of keep 1.5 in focus, we would probably still have a very good chance of giving the future generations enough justification of what we did when we had our chances to do it right. That's what it is.
Great word put there,
Yeah.
sir. So basically, people who are listening to this right now, what we establish at this particular moment is the conversation that we are having today about sustainability. You're listening to this conversation about sustainability, which is all of us are doing good in participating in this. And yes, we've established that the problem is real. We need to look at sustainability at something which is very at core of our lifestyles, very at core of our ideology, so that it's not just the UN worrying about the world, it's us also worrying about the world and what to do.